How we doing, everybody? This is Carr. It's good to be back. I hope everybody had a really good holidays. I hope you had the chance to be around family, hold loved ones close. I hope you had a good Kwanzaa. I hope you had a good Hanukkah. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I hope you had a Happy New Year. Whatever it is that you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate at all, I hope you generally had a nice time. You know, especially given the circumstances. When I set out to make videos on this channel, I didn't know that being an anarchist, I would have such a glaring example of why my ideology is correct. And yet I do. If you inhabit the so-called United States of America, then the last 2 years have shown you how easy it is for a country that puts up such a facade of being capable and being wealthy and being in control of things generally will completely start to crumble. And make no mistake, sacrifice the lower class, sacrifice the most marginalized people to do it. This light's very bright. I'm going to turn it down a bit. That is a little bit better. Anyway, I was talking about the failed state that we inhabit. So it's like I knew that I could try and point to real-world examples of how to convince people to become anarchists while also convincing people of the need for restorative justice for the black diaspora in America. But I didn't think our own federal government, all of our politicians, all the corporations would just come right out in the open and make it very clear that they do not care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your dogs. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your dreams, about your passions, about your desires, about your humanity. We have created large, inhumane systems that exists outside of the best interest of the people who operate those systems, of the people who work and have to live and eat and sleep and die within those systems. I've had a little bit of a break. It's been a mixture of work and some personal family issues, taking some time to enjoy the holiday, and a bit of frustration. I'm not above it. I felt myself getting a little bit disillusioned with the channel, but ultimately I reminded myself that I didn't set out to get rich. I didn't set out to get famous. I didn't set out to become the next millionaire YouTuber to say gamer words on a live stream. I had a message in here that I wanted to put out there, and I'm going to continue doing that. That being said, it seems like I'm coming off really negative here in the beginning, but if there's one message I want you to take from this, is that there's hope. There is hope. And I have been filled with more hope than I ever have in my adult life, because I watch around me, despite all of the ways that this nation is failing its inhabitants, and the malicious powers that be are actively working against the people who need the most help. People keep stepping up. Despite a deadly pandemic, despite evictions starting to skyrocket, despite it not being safe in some places due to reactionary violence, people are still organizing strikes. Now more than ever, we are seeing one of the biggest growths, one of the biggest spikes in labor organizing that we've had since the 80s, when the unions were all killed during the Reagan administration. And keep that energy up. Recently, the very first Starbucks got unionized. I don't know if you've been to a coffee shop recently, especially a big busy chain like Starbucks. Don't go to Starbucks. Support a nice mom and pop coffee shop, or order some fair trade coffee. I don't have a sponsor. People don't sponsor me, so don't expect an online coffee store sponsor plug coming next. Just drink whatever makes you feel good, I guess. But Imagine how baristas and coffee shop employees are treated, and then see that they have fought for the ability to have the protection and the strength of a union. And admittedly, it's not the victories I'd like to see. But on the one hand, while we as a country, with some recent court cases, set the precedent that a white boy with a gun can go instigate a fight in a place he doesn't belong and then proceed to kill people, and he'll be protected under the law. We've also seen that, at least in some parts of the country, openly lynching an elderly black man is unacceptable. I don't really necessarily call it a victory. I call it taking a step in the right direction. Maybe not even progress. It's more, not even a step. It's just pointing from a little bit less in the wrong direction. But we have to keep that energy that you felt when Derek Chauvin was sentenced, that energy that you felt when those monsters who killed Ahmaud Arbery were sentenced to life. Keep that hope that you have, and you need to push it forward for every future victim of police brutality. Black bodies are still not safe in the streets while we have a uniformed gang walking around killing people with impunity. But I have hope, because I see the seeds planted right now. People are beginning to rethink a lot of the institutions and concepts that we hold dear. People are beginning to rethink all manner of things that we used to take for granted. I'm in my mid-30s. It wasn't that long ago where the overwhelming majority of the populace had no understanding whatsoever of what it meant to be transgender. And now we are rethinking the concept of gender. The conversation is on the world stage. We are rethinking the concept of bodily autonomy. And there's so much more we can do. Everything that we take for granted, every concept that we have in this neoliberal capitalist society, can be deconstructed and rebuilt. We need to rethink the concept of crime. We need to rethink the concept of crime and punishment and incarceration. We need to rethink the concept of prisons. We need to rethink the concept of government. We need to rethink the organization of government. Do we need things like a Senate? Do we need an executive branch? We need to rethink the concept of commodities. We need to rethink the concept of needs and necessities. Ask yourself, what reason is there not to meet everyone's material needs for survival? These are all things that we can rethink. We need to rethink things inside of us too. Less tangible concepts. Rethink what masculinity means. Rethink, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? Because you see, with all of these concepts, we held a very narrow view. With all of these ideas, we only operated off of what we were taught at a young age. But now we have the opportunity to open up our minds, and well, there's no limit to the possibilities. And I think that's a good thing. And I think right now, the fervor, the energy that we're seeing, even in the midst of the horrible disaster that's going on, people haven't given up hope. People haven't stopped fighting. Even people I talk to overwhelmingly haven't stopped caring about the environment. And I'll be damned, it is dreadful to read about. We've all but accepted that we are careening towards disastrous, catastrophic results. And yet there's still more that can be done to mitigate some of that damage brought about by climate change. And people are working on that. People are still working on that now. People have not stopped thinking about that. Yeah. Finally, you need to rethink politics. You need to rethink government. Right now, we are witnessing a government that is failing us. Do we really need to have it in its current state anymore? Look around your communities. The whole point of anarchism is to build the mutual aid networks and support structures so that once you dissolve those unjust hierarchies that are unfairly controlling your life, you can operate without those government systems. It is, in a way, how you become ungovernable, like the meme. After all, you take away the reliance on an unjust, inefficient, incompetent hierarchical system, and then you don't need it anymore. It has no more power over you. Once you encompass defense, material needs, food, shelter, water, clothing, education, healthcare, medicine, just think about how powerful you could make your communities, your neighborhoods, your streets, your friend groups, if you could provide all of that internally. And if the government fails to do its job, it doesn't matter. That would give you a whole lot of power. That would tip the scales heavily in your favor. So, every year should have a theme. I think the theme of 2022 needs to be rethinking. Rethinking decolonization. A lot of people thought they knew what it meant, but if the last half of 2021 was anything to go off of, there's quite a few people who have no idea what it is. Rethink gender roles. Rethink the concept of money. Gives you a lot to think about, but I have hope. Oh, this was a gift. It was made for me by a good friend. I really like it a lot. It was a Christmas gift. Makes me really happy. See you soon, guys. Thank you for watching if you stuck with me this long for my unhinged rantings. I don't really get a lot of subscribers or a lot of views, so it really does help if you click like and make sure you're subscribed and click the notification if you enjoyed the video and want to see more. The algorithm does not favor my content at all, and most of my subscribers report not even knowing that I've uploaded. So it really does help if you click the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter to check out my latest NFTs for sale. Follow me on Twitch, where I play games, give lectures, and work on music. And if you're so inclined to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. Thanks again.